Transnet has declared a force majeure on the northern corridor following a derailment this week. Now, a train carrying export coal en route to Richards Bay went off the tracks near Ulundi. The company says that route has been significantly disrupted and suffers delays because of violent extortion efforts, and they are saying that is because of the work of Ulundi Business Forum. Transnet has now suspended recovery operations because of those threats. Let's talk more about this now with Transnet Freight Rail Acting Chief Commercial Officer Bonginkosi Mabaso. Mr. Mabaso, thank you so much for your time. I mean, it's really distressing to hear about what you believe was a deliberate derailment because you wouldn't bow to extortion. Are you saying that the Ulundi Business Forum is directly implicated in trying to extort money from Transnet?
Good evening, Sally, and to your viewers. Thank you for having me. Just to qualify that, Sally, we are not making any assumptions that any parties were directly involved in this derailment. Safe to say that conclusion will be derived at once our investigations are completed. But what we can safely say is we have received threats from some parts of the forums, and for that reason we are investigating, and that matter has been handed over to law enforcement.
Okay, because what we've had is that Transnet has alleged that a dispute with the Ulundi Business Forum led to violence, including assault, blocked access roads, and also shot being fired. Are you standing by that statement?
That is correct. That actually transpired today at about midday. Our efforts to restore the line were stopped by some members of what we'll call a forum who had intentions of requesting business opportunities of us. But what we can safely say also is that there have been engagements that have taken place from the time until at about 5 p.m., at which stage operations went back to normal, of course, with the support from law enforcement. We also would like to, on that note, thank our customers who have come to the party really to assist us in supporting them with security enforcement. And also, we've also had to add a bit of our security as well, just to ensure that the salvage operation continues.
Okay, so, you know, what you said in an earlier statement is really very serious. You're accusing the Ulundi Business Forum of extortion. I just need to check, do you still believe that that's at the heart of the issue?
Look, I don't want to speculate, Sally, and call it extortion. What we are stating and what we are fairly standing by is the fact that our operations to clear the line and therefore reopen operations on the line were stopped by some members who approached us and were making certain demands in terms of opportunities.
Wasn't this a deliberate derailment in the first place a few days ago?
We can't say with certainty until we've concluded our investigations whether it was deliberate or not. The reason why it's so critical for us to clear the damage, the local wagons that are sitting on the line, is so that we can have access to the line and therefore determine precisely, once we have free access on the line, what was the cause. So we can't say with certainty. All we can say is there were threats that were levied at us prior to the incident, and we will only conclude once we've managed the investigation.
Okay, so what is the current situation regarding the line? I think I missed what you said earlier. Is it open again?
No, the line is not open again, but we now have access to bring in our equipment, which was stopped, to continue working on salvaging the line. So the operation to clear the damage on the line and the cargo that's lying on the line have continued since 1700 this afternoon. And of course, again, I'd like to reiterate that we thank our customers who have come to the party in assisting us in enforcing security in the area for us to be able to continue with the work.
Okay. This is your 6th force majeure, I think, in a year. What impact is it going to have?
Look, the impact is quite significant, Sally. If you look at it, particularly from the Transnet perspective, we lose about 55 million rands of revenue on a daily basis of us not being operational. but it's more so for the economy of the country. We're estimating about R1 billion that is lost as a result of the stoppage. But also, I'd like to maybe take this opportunity just to qualify the 6 derailments that were quoted by media earlier. The 6 derailments in the space of 18 months are not specific to the coal line, but rather throughout our entire network. And in a space of 18 months, 6 derailments are not very bad. I'm not saying that we want to have more, but of course, if you look at the weather patterns we've had over the last 18 months, where we've had floods, and you look at the strike that we've enjoyed, we can safely say the 6 are not limited to the coal line, but rather to our entire network.
Just tell me a little bit more about the Ulundi Business Forum and the nature of Transnet's agreement with them. What exactly do they provide for you, if anything?
So at this stage, we focus on building our relationship with the local authority and the leadership in the area, with the community, and we have constant engagements with them. And of course, when opportunities arise for business, we do engage, and through our procurement processes, we also do offer them opportunities to participate. What we are against as an organization, and quite strongly so, is instances where business is demanded of us without having followed due procurement processes. And of course, I'm not linking this to any forum particularly. In general, we are governed by very strong governance principles, and we follow those in our procurement processes.
Okay, so look, I hear you, and I hear that you're being sensitive around any potential allegation against the Ulundi Business Forum, despite some earlier quite strong statements. But what we hear in the construction industry is that there's a construction mafia. You move in to build a mall in a certain area, and the local gang, because it is that, says if you don't pay us for doing nothing, we're going to make sure that this building doesn't go ahead. Is that the sort of problem that Transnet's encountering? If you don't give us a cut of your profits, or if you don't let us employ local people, even though, as you say, without any proper agreement in place, we're going to make sure this train doesn't pass. Is that happening?
So at this stage, Saleh, as I say, our primary focus is to give opportunities to communities via community leaderships and organized forums within communities, which we are engaging on a constant basis, especially on the coal line where this incident has transpired. Of course, there will be some elements of criminality that will crop up in our space in the same way that you find in all other spaces that the same would transpire. But what we do under such circumstances is we bring in law enforcement to play its part and take its course in that, yeah.
Very, very quickly, how long do you expect the force majeure to last? Is it possible to say?
It is very difficult to say at this stage until we know what the extent of the damage is on our infrastructure, and we'll only get to know that once we've cleared the damaged wagons and the cargo that is built on the line.
All right. Thank you so much for speaking to us this evening. Transnet Freight Rail Acting Chief Commercial Officer Bonginkosi Mabaso. Let's take